Hey guys, it's Brandon from Way More Better, where we like to make everyday things way more better. Today we're just going to have some fun. We're going to do some powder coating. It's simple to do if it's done properly, just like any other painting. Prep is key. Today's project is a manly kitty cat. Yeah, this was the only spare metal I had in the yard, and so I have a black cat, so I figured we'll powder coat this black. What you're going to need is you can get one of these powder coating guns from Harbor Freight. I think it's like 80 bucks. I can put a link to it in the description. You're also going to need your paint. This is a Sherwin-Williams Gloss Black. I can also put a link to that. That's pretty much, this is the most expensive part of the project. I think these things are like $45. But it turns out great if done properly. So what I'm going to do on this piece here, you can see that there's a little bit of surface rust coming through. I think when they first did it, they probably hit it with some clear, but that probably didn't take all the way. And now since it's been sitting outside in the garden, that it's gotten some rust on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spinning majigger and go ahead and clean this up a little bit, both sides. And when I'm done doing that, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it clean. And then you have to pre-bake it. So you put it in the oven for about 400 degrees, 10-15 minutes. That way it gets all the oils and grease on the hand, bakes all that off. Then you get a clean towel, you wipe that down again, and then you go ahead and start doing the powder coating. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, one of the things I want to show you on these guns, it should come with one, but if it doesn't, get one of these. I think they're about $3. It's a water filtration, any water that you have in your lines, just like you have on a lot of paint guns, it'll filter any of the water particulates out of it because it won't stick. Very important. Any oils in your hands, anything liquid, it won't take, and then also just kind of like spray out, spatter. For all intents and purposes, this is paint. It's dried paint. So, one, if you get it on you and you get wet, it's just like having paint on it. So you don't want to have any water in your lines. Some of you guys have these awesome, paint booths and whatever. So you probably know how to do this. But get one of these. Most importantly, make sure you turn down the pressure on your air, because these are rated up to, I think, 90 psi. And if you leave it at 160 like I did, it blows itself apart and scares the heck out of you, and then you got to go change your shorts. And yeah, just ask me how I know. All right, guys, got it all cleaned up, got all the rust spots out of it. It's okay if it's swirly like that. Well, one, it came like that, and two, it's the powder coating is going to fill in all those scratches, so it's going to come out nice, smooth, and glassy. So make sure you don't have any rough edges, you don't have any pop-ups, any rust, anything like that. Now, you see I'm touching it. What you want to do, very importantly first, is put it in the oven for about 20 minutes and let it literally bake. It'll get all the fingerprints, burn off all the oils, anything else. So just give it a wipe down with a towel, get all your dust off, and then go ahead and put it in your oven for, I don't know, about 20 minutes. And then when you get it out, you're going to put a hanger. What I'm probably going to use on this one is some fishing line right through this hole here, and I'm going to suspend it, hang it from one of those grates. Why I use the oven grates is great because it's great. It's because that way I can just powder coat it. It'll stick to it because it's held on by electricity. Anyway, then what I'll do is I can just pick up the grate, I can put it in the oven without ever having to touch this, without knocking off any of the powder coating that's on there. And so I'll go ahead and put my grate high enough that I can let it hang in there. I'll show you all guys the way it looks after it's powder coated, and then putting it in the oven. So let's get started. So gave it like 20-30 minutes in the oven, just let it burn off all the oils and whatever fibers from towel or whatever. Pulled it out, let it cool for about another 20 minutes. I think before I said I was going to hang it from fishing line or something. That is incorrect. You always use wire hooks because the way this works is from static electricity. So this cable here runs back to your powder coater, and it's what runs the static electricity through a metal grate. I have it directly connected here to what this is flux wire, welding wire that I just pulled out, had some extra, and twisted it off. So that way it's still going to be charged by static electricity. That's what helps the powder coating bond to the metal. I've got the gloss black loaded in the powder coat gun. Also, on your powder coaters, it says on the front of it to only run like 30 psi max. I tried that. It barely blows out any powder coating. I think usually I run what the max is for that water filtrator or air filtrate. No, I'm new. The blue thing that goes on the bottom of it. Because like I said, I've blown those apart before, scared the dickens out of me. So around 80 psi I think I run. So I've got all that set up. And what I'll do here when I'm done coating it further, I don't have to put my hands out or anything. I can take this rack and put it right into the oven. Now, don't go doing this in your wife's oven in the kitchen unless you want to sleep on the couch. This is just an oven that I got off Marketplace, the Space, and I think I got it for, I mean, you can find deals out there just to haul them off. This one works, and I got it for 20 bucks. So this whole project altogether probably can cost you under $150, and I've powder coated a lot of stuff. Dirt bike parts, valve covers. I mean, you can pretty much pick and choose anything that's metal that you can get to the bare metal, you can powder coat, and it looks really good. All right, enough talk. I'm going to start doing it. I'm going to up the paint setting on here to a little bit more. Might be too much pressure. Let's see. No, it might be my ground. All right, hold on here. Well, it's not sticking the way it should. It's sticking up here. I don't think it's getting enough electricity for the static. Let's figure that out. Well, there's a mistake for you.
No! God, please, no! No!
See the little pedal? I gotta be stepping on that. Yeah, see that zap? It means it's got power running through it and it's got a ground. See, there we go. Look at that. I just have to not be an idiot. Well, it works when you do it right. That was a huge gap by me. But now I got powder all over the lens. That is it, fully coated. Now, it looks like flat black, but once we bake it, it's going to get to gloss black. So that should be better. Make sure we got all the sides. Yeah, it's on there. All right. Ugh. All right, if you guys saw, I made a huge mistake. I was wondering why it wasn't making contact. I thought my ground was bad. And then I remembered over there next to the machine, there's this little lever that runs electricity through that ground. And that way it sticks with static electricity. And I totally forgotten again. I'm new, but so far so good. I'm going to take it just like that. I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm going to let it bake for probably 20 to 30 minutes on 400 degrees. You don't want to put it too close to the racks because it'll discolor. I did a candy apple that turned out like a dark burnt apple before. So you want to make sure none of it's too close to the racks. That's why I hung it this way. That way if the heat's too much down here, we're not really, that part goes in the ground, we're not really worried about that. But the rest of Sir Kitty here will fit in the oven just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect up here. I'm going to open our oven. And I'm going to load him just like this, very carefully. Just like that. Now again, that bottom part's, I'm not worried about that. We'll see how it turns out.
A few moments later.
Alright. Try not to touch it whilst I get it out. Oh yeah. Oh, that's hot. Ah. Look at that. All right. Nice and glossy. We'll go ahead, and I did that at probably about 400 for about 20 minutes. The paint from Sherwin-Williams, that's who it's from, said 380 for 15, but I also have my oven here, kind of wired to a regular 120 instead of a 210 or whatever, and so it takes a little longer. The actual temp isn't the actual temp, so I kind of guessworked it, but look at that. Nice. All right, we'll let it cool. We'll take a closer look. Let's take a look and see what we have here. It looks great. And despite my epic fail with the powder gun, I didn't want to wipe it off because, well, you know, people make mistakes. I didn't want to start over. And even though, look at that. It's great. All right, guys, finished product. Look at that, glossy black. Like I said, even though I had a mistake, so with this gun, yeah, there's a foot pedal that starts the electricity. I'm sure it's on there as a safety reason, that way you don't, zap yourself when you touch any of the metal. I had totally forgot it was behind me while I was spraying, and well, believe it or not, nothing's perfect on the internet. So, but yeah, it turned out remarkable. Looks really good. I'm happy with that. So I encourage you, again, it's probably about a $150 project. It looks way more better. And you can use, I still have plenty of powder. I only use maybe half a cup full. I still have a bunch of the paint, the gun. You can use that over and over. I've used that thing probably 15, 20 times now on car parts, motorcycle parts. You Harley guys, if you want to, turn all your chrome to gloss black, you can do every part on your bike, one at a time or 10 at a time. But this ended up great. Can't wait to put it in the front yard. And if you guys like this video, leave comments, be nice. Also link and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching Way More Better. Little black cat, where you at? I don't know, I just made that up. Look at that reflection. God, it looks good. And I'll just put him right there. Oh yeah. Right next to the scarecrow. Again, guys, thanks for watching Way More Better, where we like to make things way more better.